Good morning, dear students. In the last video, we have seen about the adaptation in camel and few points I have not written in the notes. Please pay attention for it. So there I explained that camel can live for many days without water. Why camel can live for many days without water? Because the camel can pass little amount of water as urine. It is not passing much more amount of water as a urine. So this is one reason. One more is it also throw out dry dung. Even when he throw out its excreta, its stool, undigested food, but it also it's throw out in a dry amount. And it do not sweat. That means उसको पसीना भी आता नहीं है. So all these three reasons, passing the little amount of urine, throw out dry dung and not getting sweat is the reason that it can store water in its body and can live for many days without water. Now today we will see about adaptation in fish. Actually in chapter 8 we have learned about fish, its body structure, how it moves. So here we will have to just go through the points that what are the special body structures which makes the fish to survive in the water, and these special body features are termed as adaptation in the fish. So you can see a diagram of a fish, right? Such type of different types of fish are found in the oceans, even in the ponds, lakes, right? And they are of different types. Varieties of fish are there, but basically if we see the body of the fish, then it is streamlined, narrow at the mouth, front side, narrow at the back, tail side, and middle side is the broad body. So basically all types of fish are like this because it is easy for them to pass through the water with the narrow portion, right? And same thing and same principle is applicable to the boat because it also has to float on the water. Even you see the helicopters, right? Aeroplanes, there also you see the front side is narrow, the back side is narrow, and middle is broad because they have to pass through the air, right? So now let us see the adaptation in fish. This is the mouth, this is the eye, right? Now if you see the eyes of the fish, then it is without eyelids and eyelashes. You can see eyelids, that means fish is not having any closing lid on its eye, or even it is not having eyelashes. Lashes, that means the hairy structure which is there present on our eye, it is not present on fish eye. Why? Because the dry dust particles are not there in the water, and if dry dust are not there, then they are not going to stick or fly away into the eyes. So there is no need of eyelids and eyelashes, right? Now what is here? Here is the gills flap, and this is a gills. What is the function of this gills flap? Gills flap protect the gills and keeps on motion continuously so that the dissolved gas oxygen. Gills help to breathe dissolved oxygen from the water, and gills flap protect the gills as well as keeps on floating all the time, so that movement all the time, so that all the time dissolved oxygen is available to the gills. Now here you can see throughout the fish body the black curves I have shown, that is the scale, right? And they are slippery. What type of scales it has? Slippery. Slippery, that means viscous, थोड़े sticky होते हैं, so that it slides in the water very easily. And another functions are It helps in passing through water easily and it protects the fish. Right? Then what is this? It is the tail. Now tail is also having two functions. One, changing the direction. Tail is helpful, and another to maintain the balance in the water throughout the swimming and throughout the life. Now these are the fins, and even these are the fins. If you will study in the higher classes still about the biology and that too zoology, in that you will learn in a deeper that there are pectoral fins, right, operculum, different types of things are there. But here at present we will learn only about the fins. So what fins do? Fins help in continuous swimming. First function, and second is fins help in maintaining the balance, right? So this is about the different body features of the fish which help it to survive in the water. Now we can see that the fish in the oceans, in the ponds, lakes, there are a variety of colors are there, but there is a feature surrounding and behind this color. Color of the fish sometimes changes according to the need in the water. So what is given here? That color of the fish, it sometimes changes in the water as per the need. Why it changes? Because to protect fish from the predators or to make the predators full. Predators, that means those who are the enemy for the fish, those who come and kill or eat the fish in the water, then they are the living creatures which are enemy for the fish and they are considered as predators. So these predators are made full by change of the color, or we can say fish protect themselves from the predators by changing the colors. So how it happens? Sometimes the color change to greenish like plants in the water. Sometimes while swimming, where there are more number of plants are there in the water, even the aquatic plants are also there, right? Aquatic, that means those who grow in the water. And when in those era when the fish are swimming, then they will change their color to greenish, so that the other living creatures which are the enemy for the fish, those who want to eat the fish, then the fish can change the color and will mix with that plants, so the predators will not be able to find out the fish. In the same way, they can change bluish like water, even they can change reddish brown, yellow, and accordingly they save themselves by changing them as the plants or rocks in the water, right? Thus what happens? They, that means fish, match the surrounding and protect themselves from the predators or make them full. Right? What is predators? Predators, that means enemy. Are living creatures in water, those who can eat the fish. Right? And one more time I am telling here, the body of the fish is streamlined, right? Front, mouth side and back tail side are narrow and middle body broad to swim through water easily, right? So this is about the adaptation in the fish, right? And many of your friends have tried well and they have written, so no problem, you can also read your own written material, and even I have kept that all in the group also, so other students also go through it, right? So now looking to this all, different types of habitats in polar bear, different types of habitats in camel, right, in the fish. This is about the animals. Even the difference is there in the plants also. Some plants grow in desert like cactus, some grow on mountains like coniferous plants, some grow on coastal region like coconut plants, right? So animals and plants, they are both basically having adaptations and different habitats. So let us see a flowchart here. Biotic components, plants and animals. They have a special body features and habits which is termed as adaptations, right? And according to that special body features and habits, they are able to live in their habitat where the availability of food, shelter, air, water and other need is possible. So if we see habitat, then habitat are basically of two types. One is terrestrial and one is aquatic. When I say terrestrial, it means on the land. Terrestrial, that means which is on the land. And aquatic, that means which is in the water. Right? So now, terrestrial if we see, then it is of four types. First is the forest, second is the desert, third is the grassland, and fourth is the mountain regions. And if we say the aquatic, then it is of two types. One is the fresh water and one is the saline water. If I say saline water, that means salty, where the water is very, very salty. So, salty water is termed as saline water. And for it, the habitat is oceans, water from the ocean, right? And fresh water, which we are able to drink, then the water which contains very less amount of the salt, then there are three types. It is rivers, lakes and ponds. So now we will learn about different types of habitats in the next video, right? So till then, thank you.